Ancient Greece. A man called Pygmalion has just put the finishing touches on the most beautiful statue of a woman in existence. As he steps back to admire his creation, he feels a spark in his heart, an attraction to this stone majesty he's created. He brings it gifts. He's always excited to return to it when he's out. He embraces it. He kisses it. Little did the Greeks know their myth of Pygmalion was one of the first Objectum fanfics ever written. Hello! This is a video for those who aren't sure what Objectum sexuality is and are looking to learn, as well as a place for Objectums to hang out and appreciate that their orientation is being talked about for once. I'll be going over what Objectum is, its history, and a few other random things. Objectum is a blanket term for people who are sexually, romantically, platonically, or in some other way attracted to objects. Some people label this attraction as a paraphilia, but a study done by researcher Amy Marsh suggests that Objectum attraction goes beyond the simple lust of paraphilias and extends into being its own valid sexual or romantic orientation. What counts as objects in Objectum attraction is somewhat unclear, but it's typically inanimate objects or concepts. There is a subgroup for those attracted to mainly anthropomorphic objects, like me, called ficto-objectum, and we'll go more into that later. Objectum is an umbrella term which encompasses a large variety of orientations. People often have types of objects they prefer, or find that different objects produce varying types or strengths of attraction. Some common sublabels of Objectum are listed here, such as conceptum, which is the attraction to concepts as mentioned previously. Being a sexual and romantic minority orientation which harms no one, Objectum can be thought of as LGBTQ+ or GRSM, although most people of those groups have never heard of it given its rarity. Generally, you won't see Objectum mentioned in LGBTQ+ spaces. Also, people who are Objectum can have other queer sexualities as well, and some are attracted to humans in addition to objects. Where my fellow Ace Objectums at? This video is brought to you by Ace Objectums, disproving the notion that Objectum is inherently a paraphilia since forever. Objectum tends to intersect with animism, which is the belief that everything has a soul of some sort. POSIC people are also often Objectum, and POSIC stands for Perception of Object Sentience, Individuality, and Consciousness. While I'm not extremely far on the POSIC spectrum myself, I flinch way too hard when I see someone hit a computer, man. Anyway, contrary to the belief of every old white conservative man, modern terminology for sexuality typically was invented to describe something that has always existed rather than something new. An Objectum has some documented history. As stated before, the ancient Greeks had a myth about Objectum attraction, so the concept certainly dates back far. Hell, I'd argue there was probably some caveman at some point who took his club out on a romantic dinner. We can't pinpoint a real start to Objectum attraction in history, but like most orientations, it's just always been a natural variation in human sexuality. The orientation was extremely medicalized for a long time, I mean, it still is, but was always called objectophilia until Objectum Icon, I don't know how to pronounce this, coined the term Objectum sexuality in the 1970s. Her lover was the Berlin Wall, by the way. I just found that too interesting not to mention. More research was done somewhat recently by Amy Marsh, who found that rates of autism may be higher in Objectum individuals, although since so little research has been done on Objectum sexuality, we're not sure if this is a real link or just some fluke in the study. Personally, I have the tism, so do with that what you will. This leads us to today, where many people online are now having their Objectum romantic awakenings thanks to object shows like Battle for Dream Island and Animate Insanity. I'm totally not one of them. For the 1000th time, I do not have a shrine to MePhone 4 in my closet. You have a shrine to MePhone 4 in your closet. Speaking of MePhone 4, he's an anthropomorphic smartphone from Animate Insanity, which reminds me that Objectum and fictosexuality often intersect. Fictosexuality is when someone feels deep attraction toward fictional characters. If this attraction is felt exclusively toward fictional characters, as it often is, then it falls under the asexual and aromantic umbrellas. If you find yourself in love with an object character for the main reason that they're an object, you may just be Objectum. With me personally, I wouldn't feel attraction to MePhone 4 if he was a human, but once I saw that handsome, sleek, rectangular shape with this cute little home button, I knew my 17-year streak of never having a crush was broken. Overall, Objectum is an orientation which causes no harm, making it completely valid. Hope you learned something and have a fun day. Thank the gods Carrie and Michael Huang for spawning a whole new multiverse of characters to simp for.